Hello and welcome back to the channel. Very excited today because we have got a new bike to take a look at. This is from Edu, an Edu electric folding bike. This is the Air 20 Pro. Just have a quick peek inside. Very nicely well packed, and it is in a light blue. Look at that. Beautiful colour, and it folds up. As you can see, it's already folded up. So the plan is we're going away tomorrow for a few days, and I'm hoping I can fit it in the garage of the motorhome here and we can take it away with us and have a nice bike ride. So let me get this out of the box, let me get this built and see what we're working with. How exciting. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Edu Air 20 Pro. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, first thing I've noticed, we've got a carbon belt on there, look. So none of this metal belts and getting oil on you or anything. That is a first for me. I've never had a bike with one of them on, so that's exciting me. The colour I absolutely adore. Not a single scratch on it as far as I can see. So packed incredibly well. This is how it's all come out of the box once I've taken the packaging off. So it looks like all we have to do is put the handlebars on, the seat on and the pedals on, and then it's pretty much built. Because a lot of the time with bikes, they do get delivered without a front wheel on it, and you have to put it on yourself, which can be quite hard to do. I've spent half of a day building bikes before. This one should all be done within an hour. So all ready to go. In the box you get your pedals, which I've noticed are the ones which fold up as well, so when you are storing it, the pedals aren't hitting into your walls and scratching things, so that's a good little feature. We've got the saddle, we've got the charging lead, some reflectors for the wheels, all the tools you need. I'm not sure what this is yet, but I'm sure I'm going to find out, and I don't know what that is. It will all be in here. So that's your installation instructions. There is an app to go with this, so we'll get that up and running hopefully. And yeah, instructions. So very excited. Let's get it complete and then I'll start talking about specs and things. It does also come in grey if you'd prefer a grey colour, but I personally really like the blue. We have got the handlebars on, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Just a matter of taking a screw out of there, putting them on, lining it up with the wheel and putting the screw back in, tightening a few with the Allen key, no problem at all. So this is the English instructions, and that is all the instructions you need, because it has come pretty much already built. Another simple task, I've got the seat on, but I've noticed in the seat, I thought this is a bit heavy, this stem. That's your battery, I didn't realise. So that is your battery. You can obviously leave this on and charge it here, or you can take this off, take it in the house and charge it in the house. So here's your charger, it just goes in like so. You plug in the end of there and charge it up. I thought that was quite good. So without that bike, I should imagine, is very light. Wow, incredibly light. Even you could lift that up. It
could be like a security measure as well. If you're parked into a city and you don't mind carrying that around with you, then that bike's useless to anyone else basically, isn't it? They can't run off with it.
Let's say you're working in the city or a town.
Yeah.
And you need to leave your bike outside. You can take your seat in.
Yeah.
Charge it up whilst you're at work and bring it out, and no one's going to want to steal it because it's got no seat.
Well, it's got no power. Battery. Yeah.
Fantastic feature. Yeah, I like that. So the bike is fully built. I've got the seat inside. I'm just charging it up at the moment, and all I'm left with now is the reflectors, which I'll put on at a different time, and this, which I've been looking it up, I believe it's like an accessory mount to put like a phone holder or something up here on your handlebars. So I'm not going to bother with that at the moment. I just want this fully charged, and then we can start talking about the specs and take it for a ride. We have got a charge. Let's have a look at the bike now. Every moment I'm playing with this, I'm finding new little features and I'm absolutely loving it. Let's start with the battery. So I've put some charge into it. Turn it off a second. This little thing here unplugs, so now you can take it out, put it back in, and you just put that in and it clicks. There's no tools needed, there's no screwing in, it just clicks, and now the battery is connected to all the bike. Press the on button here, it will turn a nice bright green, and now you can turn it on. So a few ways you can turn this on. On button there, I think it says 5 seconds, but it seems a lot quicker than that. It is on. Or you can use this, I think it's called NFC, some kind of security device. So if you put this on, if you set it up properly and you put that on your key ring, for example, nobody can get into your bike, nobody can turn it on. So this will turn it off, power off, or on, power on. Very clever. So if you set your settings right, you can have that as a security feature so nobody can get into your bike. I love that, love it. Now there is an app for this, if I can quickly get it on my phone. So here is the app. If it's flashing for you, it's just because of the camera. So you'd choose your bike, you'd set it in, and you can see how many kilometres you've done. You can change it from eco mode to sport mode. Yes, it's got two modes, and turn the lamps on, etc, etc. But I'm not going to be doing it on that. I'm going to be showing you on here. So if you press the well, let's start with the plus. See the lights? Press the plus for 2 seconds and the lights come on, front and rear. That's how you'll put the lights on. So let's just turn them off a second. So you've got up and down. This puts it in eco mode 1, 2 and 3. Keep them pressed together and you can get into the settings. So it's a code to get into it. Because it's a new product, it's probably going to be 000 0000. Yes, we're in. So on there you can change your units. It's metric to imperial. I've got it on imperial because I work in miles rather than kilometres. Brightness, boost gear, power mode. Let's have a look at power mode. So you've got eco or sport, as I said earlier. So if you're wanting to whiz around very, very quickly, you want it in sport. If you just want to save the battery a bit, keep it in eco. I'm going to keep it in eco for now. You can show the volts if you wish, Bluetooth and NFC bind card. So that's all to do with this. Bind it up. You can have it on, you can have it off, it's entirely up to you. Unbind, but that, I think that's fantastic. You can put your own password in as well, so all the settings are in there if you want it. So that just gives you a basic idea of the settings and how this works. I don't want to go into too much detail, so let's start with the pedals. I've still got the sticker on there, we want that off. There we are. So as I said earlier, press it in, turn it, and then it's not going to scratch all your walls, your garage, your car, whatever. It's not going to scratch it while you're travelling, and it makes the bike thinner when you're folding it up as well. And then just pull it out when you're ready to go. I love that on pedals. We have got 20-inch tyres. You know, they're not the big chunky ones. I wouldn't be using this in really rough terrain or anything, but you know, on the roads, on city streets, around town, just general use, I think they're perfectly good for what you need. We have a suspension feature, so you can have this fully locked so that when you're going on the roads it's not jumping up and down, or you can have it open, and then as you're bouncing over rough terrain, you're going to have a bit of suspension in there, and that's going to help you make it a smoother ride for you. A huge selling point to us is the height you can be to ride this. You can be as low as under 5 foot to over 6'5". My Mazzy inside there is, I think, 5'2", 5'4", something like that, and she finds it very hard to find a bike she can get on. She can get on this one. It's a very low frame. Everything about it is very low. It's low and long, and we love that about it. So you can see here the extent of the seat right down there. Anyone of a very short height, I'm 6 foot, right up to 6'5". That is a great feature, because a lot of bikes, they just don't cater for small people. And definitely one of the best features, it folds up to nothing. So let's just fold it up live now. I've not read the instructions on how to do it, I'm just guessing. That's going to fold down there, that's going to unclip there. I'm going to put the pedals in, and that should now, there we go, fold into nothing. Look at the size of that. And for transporting, as I say, I would personally take the seat off, because I've just weighed the seat with the battery in it. That weighs 3 kilograms. The bike overall, I think it's 21 kilograms, which is still incredibly light for a bike. But take 3 kilograms off and it becomes incredibly light for putting in the back of cars and things like that. But yeah, folds up to nothing. If you want to know the exact diameters of that, you're talking 48 centimeters wide, 67 centimeters tall, and 92 centimeters long. That's all you need to fit this into a vehicle. I want to get this in here for us to go away. It's easily going to fit in there. How many miles out of a full battery? Well, obviously it depends on the terrain you're riding on, your weight, etc, etc, hills, all that kind of stuff. But up to 100 kilometers, so that's a long way for a small bike. Maximum speed, it's about 15.5 mile an hour, which is the regulations for the UK. You can't go any faster than that, or you can't have any more power than that out of an electric bike. But this is a first for me as well. You can go faster just using your own pedal, your own leg strength. Every single e-bike I've been on in the past, it doesn't matter, you cannot go over 15.5. So you will always be staying within the law at the 15.5 miles per hour for an electric bike, but you can go over if you're fit enough. Right, I've got one last thing to do. I'm not riding it today. I'm going to put it in the back of the motorhome, ready for his trip tomorrow, and we're going to have some good rides on this whilst we're away. Timed that very well, because it's just starting to rain. So, as I said earlier, I'm going to take the battery off. I think it makes it easier to carry. Take the seat off, fold it in tightly. That is so light. Without that on it, it's really light. So, will it fit in the back of a motorhome? Of course it will. Look at that. You could get 2 in there. It's fantastic. So, I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to put a few towels around it just to protect it a little bit, because it's going to be rocking as we're moving, travelling. And we will see you on our little holiday trip away, and we'll start riding this. Right, here we go. First ride. Cross your city. We're not going to be crossing a city today. I'm just going to go on a country lane, which I do like to ride down because it's nice and quiet. So this is the first turns I've done on this bike. I've got it in eco mode, number 1. And first impression, It kicks off after about quarter of a turn of your pedal, and it's silent. Can't hear anything. That's really good. And it's quite quick on number 1, which is good. I'm presuming number 1 will use less power than number 3, so if you're going around you know, if you're going around a town or a city or something, or just in general use, number 1 is fast enough. What am I going? 10 mile an hour in number 1. Okay, let's try it in number 2. There's a dog here which is a bit of a barker, so I've got to be careful. Okay, that went quite easily. I'll put it in number 2 in a moment. Let's just get around the corner. So I'm trying my best to get you some decent sound. And oh, I've got another biker behind me. Probably going to be overtaking me. I'm trying to get you some decent sound, I'm trying to get you decent pictures, but it's very difficult to film when you're on your own on a bike. So I've got a camera facing me, I've got one on my chest and one on my head, so hopefully we'll get some good footage and sound out of the 3 of them. This is wonderful. I haven't got out of number 1 yet. I've left that woman for dead who was behind me. Right, let's put it to number 2. Right, it's gone up to 15.5. So what's number 3 then? Because that's as fast. Whoa! Alright, it's got a right kick to it. Very nice. Now that's saying 16.2. Don't know if that's in miles an hour or kilometres. Oh, it must be miles per hour. Right, this is smooth. This is really smooth. The control of the handlebars is fantastic because the thin throttles, if you like to call it a throttle, they're very thin. So you've got full control over it. Trying the brakes there. It's silent. Electric bikes normally make a bit of a noise. This is silent. So this is eco. Oh yeah, I can feel it going through them speeds now. That is fantastic. It's one of them bikes where, I know it's electric, but it's one of them bikes where you really can go miles and miles and miles with zero effort. You're not going to be aching the next day. If you're anything like me and you don't bike very often, and you just do not have a sporty lifestyle, this is the bike for you because it folds up to nothing, just so compact, and it just glides. It doesn't make a noise. Why is this not making a noise? Oh, there's a rabbit right in front of me. How cute, a little bunny rabbit, little baby one. How beautiful. This is why I like coming down this lane. It's nice and quiet, lovely countryside. Although this has got all these features, it's one of these bikes you don't have to think about them. All you have to do is concentrate on whether you want it in number 1, 2 or 3 and just go, and the bike does everything else for you. This is lovely. Now I have noticed I haven't got my, it might look like it's a bumpy ride, it's not. It's actually a very smooth ride. With the suspension thing at the front, it's a very smooth ride, but because my cameras are on here and they're not attached fantastically, it might appear a bit jumpy. Oh, this is beautiful. What a beautiful day to go out for a ride. I need to start doing this more often. I'm not much for walking, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I just want to get to B. But on this, I would happily go from A to B and be in no rush whatsoever. So let me just stop here a second. Can I see how many miles we've gone? Oh, it will be that at the bottom probably. 1.1 miles maybe I've gone? Is that what it's trying to tell me? The battery level it hasn't touched. As I say, I think it tells you on in perfect conditions up to 100 kilometres. What's that, 60 miles? Who is going to go more than 60 miles in one day? This is beautiful. I'm highly impressed. A lot of the bikes, you know, you get the fat tyre ones, the big chunky ones. They're great. They are great. But they can be a bit harder to control. The heavier, you know what I mean? This is a very light, enjoyable bike to ride. Right, I'm just going to stop there and put it into sport mode. So if I just put the password in here, 0000, which obviously you can change to suit you. Power mode, there we go. Boost gear. 3 or 5? Shall we try 5, see what happens? Why not? Power mode, sport. So now it's saying 5. Let's see. So I'm using its little feature with this. I did think about this, you know, obviously you could have it on a key ring. You could put it on your phone, you know, behind your phone, in your phone case, and then just tap it every time you want to turn your bike on. I do like that. I've never seen that on a bike before. Right, we're now in sport. It says sport 0, so let's see what happens. Let's just turn around here. And I am loving the is it carbon? The carbon chain instead of a metal chain. Right, this is in sport. I see what it means. So in sport, right, we're off. So that's sport 1. Yeah, so it's going faster. Oh, okay, it's just clicked into. Let me just go faster and faster, see what happens. Yeah, sport, you do kick off a bit, that's great. So number 2, 3, right, so we have now got 5 modes. Wow, that is fast, that is beautiful. Oh yeah, sport. I am liking the sport. So one thing I'm noticing, when you first start pedalling, the pedals will go around quickly. And then as you get up, the pedals like slow down as you're changing. So the pedals don't go around as much, so you're using even less energy than you would. We also have the little bell there. I've put this phone holder on the front here. You know, it's a lovely thin handlebar, so I've managed to get one of my holders on there, so that's quite solid. You've obviously got your controller there and your brakes here. I've got the handlebars turned a bit, that's it. That's better. But yeah, this is a wonderful bike. So one big question, who is this bike for? Well, probably a more varied amount of people than any other bike I've ever been on, because you can be just under 5 feet tall and ride this, which is quite special. You don't see that very often. Usually it's 5'2" to 5'4" is the smallest on the electric bikes. So for it to be 4.11 feet, that is fantastic. Going right up to 6'5", perfect for any roads, you know, tarmac roads, city centres, town centres, pop into the shop, things like that. Men or women, people who just want to get a little bit more active, it would be very good for you. It's not the kind of bike I would be taking on really rough tracks. I don't think that's what it's designed for. But yeah, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure the tyres are up to it, but I wouldn't want to risk popping a tyre by going through really rugged biking tracks, things like that. If there was anything I'd like to improve with it, you know, I like to give me pros and cons. If there's anything I could improve with it, I would like to improve the saddle. It's I just think they could have had a spongier saddle on here. It's not the most uncomfortable, but personally I'd prefer a more spongy one. And the bell, you know, it's just a straightforward tiny little bell. There's much better bells out there they could have put on it, but apart from that, everything about this bike is getting a thumbs up from me. This, I'll take one off for the saddle. I'll have to give this a 9 out of 10. The fact it folds up so small, so easy to put together, the fact that you can just slide the seat out, which is the battery, to make it even lighter, I love that. I love that. So the Edu A20 Pro, where would you use this? It is an absolutely perfect bike for anyone who goes camping, wants to take the car out somewhere for a nice bike ride, put it in the back of the car. Anyone with a motorhome, camper van, very easy to fold up and put away. If you live in a small terrace house in a town or city and you haven't really got any room for a bike, perfect. You'll be able to fit this in a back pantry or something. It is just so versatile. Out of all the bikes I've had, it is definitely the quietest. I just cannot hear any kind of motor whatsoever. Doesn't matter what speed I'm going at, I cannot hear the motor. So very, very impressed. In fact, there's a car pulling right out in front of me because she can't hear me. She's seen me now. Right, let's get back just down here. So we're going on some bumpy roads now. Give me a chance to check out the suspension. And as I said before, it will only go, I think it's 15.5 miles per hour. But if you pedal and faster than that, it will go over that. So perfectly legal. That's another thing, these don't come with a throttle on. There's so many bikes being taken off by the police, off people, especially delivery drivers. They're taking them all off people because they're illegal. They go over 15 miles per hour. They're getting them from companies abroad and they're illegal. Stick to a legal bike and then you've nothing to worry about. You don't want to spend a lot of money on an electric bike and have it taken off you. Stick with something which is legal. Stick with something reliable and get yourself quality. They're the three main things, and this covers all three of them. Right, we are back. Let me just get off the bike and we shall sum this beautiful ride up. That is the Edu A20 Pro. Wonderful, wonderful bike. Highly recommended. As far as foldable bikes are concerned, it's up there in my top two, definitely. Some of them, the wheels are just a bit too big. Some of them, the wheels are too small. I would say the wheels on this are the perfect size. The fold-up ability, brilliant. This incredible little feature here, I've never seen before. Honestly, if you want a fold-up bike, you want an electric bike, this is the one for you. And some exciting news. Edu have teamed up with Honor. Now, Honor is a smartphone company. So, What is an e-bike company and a smartphone company going to come up with together? Very exciting for the future. So if you want to treat yourself, links in the description. Make sure you follow it and treat yourself. Fantastic, fantastic bike. A huge thank you to Edu for sending this out for me, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. See you all soon. Bye bye.